Who would ever think that using a grocery plastic bag could land you a basket? Now, I was going through the checkout at the market the other day, and it popped up, the topic, and I told the lady that, you know, it was something that I used to do. I used to turn plastic grocery bags into baskets, and she didn't believe me. So I made this little one that I'm going to be gifting her, and I thought I'd show you guys how and make a video of it at the same time. So here you go. Stay tuned, folks. Hey there, my Zaniacs. Welcome back to another crafty video. I haven't done one of these in quite a while. I wanted to cover a project that I've only really done a handful of times, but I had come across a video a few years back when I tried making these the first time. Now, it was, I think she said it was something that she was putting together as a crafting project for 6th graders. But this is actually something that you can do to make your household a more pleasant place. You can take all these plastic bags, if you haven't swapped over to canvas bags for grocery shopping yet, which I have, but for the purpose of this project, I actually decided to forget those bags and went without. So I got some plastic shopping bags, and I'm going to make a basket with shopping bags and yarn. Now, I'm going to be using this particular one. I have an abundance of these. I don't know why I bought so many of the same color scheme, but there's a couple of basics. Okay, you need, instead of the whole ball of yarn at your side, you're going to be using just a strand, something that you can easily work with and pull through. You're going to be using many strands, many bags, and yeah, this is something that anybody can do. There's no crochet required, no knitting required. You're just going to wrap it up in yarn and make something that's pretty, something that's useful for your house, and something that, you know, people wouldn't necessarily think of when it comes to recycling their plastic bags. Now, first things first, I have my one end, if I can get it in my camera, one end of my needle tied with the yarn, which the needle actually won't be used for a little while, just a little while at first. But we're going to fold the bag over twice. Get the handles over here. Okay, and we're going to flatten it out, make sure there's no air in there. And we're going to roll it up. After you fold it twice, you roll it up. Nice little flattened tether that you can wrap with your yarn. Grab my yarn here. And leave the needle sitting over there for the moment. We're going to keep some of the yarn down this way so we can wrap over it. And we're going to start a little ways in, about a pinch in. And you're just going to start wrapping. You don't have to, I mean, I would suggest a bit tight, but you don't have to sit there and hold it forever. I'm about to lose my needle. Okay, so you're going to wrap in until you can fold it over nicely and make a loop. It doesn't have to look perfect. It can look a little lumpy if you want it to. And some people with OCD might have a bit of issues with it, but we'll be okay. So far, look at that. It looks pretty cool, I think. Keep wrapping. Charge forward. Okay, yeah, I'm going to bend it over. See the loop? Okay. Now, the reason we had you start a pinch in is so you can wrap these together without having to go through too many issues. I know this little spot right here always gets me just a little bit. The spot where it is about to run off the first bit. Okay, it's going to be a little bit of a lump right there. You can tether it around a little bit, move it around, go easy, nice and slow. I actually did pretty good at that one. Okay, so now we have our first loop and our first little bit. This is around the time where you're going to go up a little bit. Let's go up and finish covering the rest of this yarn right here, and then we'll fold it. Okay, 1 second. Oh, there goes my needle. I'm glad, see, this is why I tied my needle. I don't have to worry about it falling over, and I don't have to worry about looking for the darn thing. I'm sure my cat would find it before me. Okay? So, if you can keep the fringe of your first bit of yarn together, then go over it. If not, then you can snip it a little bit if you need to. Okay, so we have officially covered that part. Now, we are going to fold, and I believe this is where I'm going to start piecing my bottom together. I may have gone a little far, but you know what? Crafting isn't always have to be perfection. It just, and this is going to serve a purpose. Okay, so we're going to go through the middle of the first loop, pull it up nice and tight, and we're going to wrap over and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then I'm just going to keep folding and rolling and stitch again. Okay, I'm going to do this until I need to add more yarn, which I'm pretty close, but I'll come back at that point. I'm not sure if you guys actually were able to see me going through what loop to go through. Okay, you see where this is right here. You're always going to go directly below. One only. Directly below. See what I mean? Okay, now I'm going to go back to doing this and getting to where I need a new piece of yarn. Okay, now with the little bit of yarn that I had left, I didn't get much more done on this part, but I got one more completed and looped through the middle. I'm going to help to tether it down with the other piece by wrapping it once. Okay, wrapped it once. Now this is going to become my new tail that I wrap over with my, I have another strand of yarn here that's been connected to my needle. Okay, so we're going to take the tail of this one as well, and we're going to place that one down with the other. So now we have 2 tails that we're going to wrap over. Now, got it once. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do 6 from this point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Fold it out. We're going to always go 1 loop under. So this one right here, this loop here, right underneath. We're going to go under, come through. Okay, so that's nice and tethered down. And we're going to keep doing this process. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hang on, I'm going to show you this one really quick. When you get your next 6, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch. So hang on, I'm going to show you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we're going to stretch and we're going to loop into this new one over here, which is your fold over, because that one's going to be directly underneath where you are. And stretch, go through that one, pull it, not too tight now, mind you. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you know, a little bit of tightness does help. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be working the bottom further until I get about that much more of this done, and I'm going to show you how to add a new bag. That's a little tricky too. So hang on just a second and I'll be right back. Alright, we are officially in need of a new bag here. And come be it, I ran out of yarn at the same time. But what I'm going to do first, prepare a new bag. Okay, so we're going to do the same folding that we did to the first one. Sort of. I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to fold over twice like we did before. Make sure they're nice and even. And fold the second time. Nice and flat. Okay, get your pair of scissors. Your pair of scissors, okay? Now, these over here, they're not going to do you any good. Don't worry about where all the folds are. Go with the one. Okay, now we're going to make a cut. One, just a little ways in. Okay, make yourself a little cut. Unfold once, and now you have yourself a whole new handle. Okay, so we're going to do, pick up this project we're working on. We're going to loop those through here. The first handle's through this loop. And then we're going to get these handles together nice and open. And we're going to loop the rest of this bag through these handles as well. Make sure you have a hold on your project, otherwise this whole thing's just going to come flying through this loop right here. That's happened to me a couple times. We're going to work this bag through the other one. Pull it down. Now I wouldn't go too tight, because we're going to be rolling this one up to match this here. I mean, it might be a little bit off, but you know, you pinch it down, roll it. You have yourself a nice long tail to work with. Less lumps. I mean, if you pull it tight, you're going to end up, you see this lump right here? That's going to be a big lump for that yarn to go over. You don't want it too tight. That way it's a bit more smooth, a bit more. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to add more yarn, and I'm going to continue this base until I have it the size that I want. You can go as big, or this can be the base if you want it to be a really tiny basket. But I'm going to go a little bit bigger, and I will be back as soon as I'm ready to start going upward with the basket. Okay, now this is not going to be the biggest basket that I've ever made. This is going to be my little itty bitty base. We're not going to go very far. I'm only going to go up maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 little layers, I think. Something that you can just put on your dresser, put a couple little nice things in there. But the purpose of this video is to not show you a big huge basket. It's to show you the process of making said basket. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to start taking it upward. What I need to do, instead of laying it flat and stitching it flat, we're going to place it on top of the one below and stitch them together that way. It is that simple. If I can get my fingers to work. So I'm going to have it sitting on top. Stitch it. And we're going to be working on top of this layer right here and moving upward. And as soon as we get around to where we started going up, we're going to go up on top of that one and just continue stacking until it's as tall as you're wanting it to be. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple rounds here of going upward. Stitch up the way you would. Wow, that went over. Ah, stay where I put you. None of y'all saw that. Okay. I think I can do one more without getting in too much trouble here. I'm going to untie that here. Give myself a little bit more room to work with my yarn. Keep it on top. Uh-oh. I lost my string. I can make it through one stitch with this before needing to get another piece of string. I'll pinch that. So I'm going to go around, up and through. Oh, not that one. It starts getting difficult and the string starts to get a bit short. Now, if it does happen to fall over like that, it's pretty simple. It's a pretty simple basket. You just pick it back up and place it back on top. There's not much to do here. So I'm going to work up my sides and I shall be back to you guys with a basket. And here we have it. We have a very small basket with very small sides. Now I need to show you what to do with this end right here. That way it never comes back undone. At this point, this one little pinch, you remember starting with a pinch? We're going to end with a pinch, and we're going to continuously sew it through until we have no plastic left showing. Now, I mean, you could trim it down if you'd like. There are probably going to be some plastic fringe. I've already taken mine off and thrown that away. But I'm going to go ahead and finish that, and I will show you the end result in just a moment. Okay, here at the end, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this needle and bring it all the way back through the very inside. You can see that. Take it back through what you just stitched going to be a bit tight, so don't worry about that. You have to wiggle it around a little bit. Now pull it through and give it a snip. Okay, and now you're going to take your hands and shape it up a little bit. And this is something that can be worked with and moved around a little bit. But technically, here's our basket. It's a cute little basket. Something you could put your keys in next to the door, or I don't know, a couple bracelets in the bedroom, something. You know, you can make the base of it as big as you want, wide, small. You can make the sides as tall as you want, and if you want, how I mentioned, you can go straight upward. You can go slanted upward, and you can even eventually, if you wish, at the top, you can start going inward. Instead of on top, you start going inward, and you can taper off the top just a little bit. But that's something that I don't do myself, but I know it can be done. So here's our basket, guys. Who says that recycling can't be beautiful, right? Okay, so this little basket's going to go to that lady that I told you about, and you all make me a basket if you want. You can send me a picture of it on Twitter. I'll be happy to take a look. See you then. Bye, everyone.